Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It is very nice to be back indeed, and what a treat. We are in the Phoenix A321 this evening, heading down to Ibiza. First full flight in the A321, so looking forward to that. Obviously, we did some landing practices in it the other night as part of our kind of FSI panel stuff that we were doing, which I think went quite well. But it would be interesting to see how we get on full flight, because obviously at full flight you have to do everything rather than just touching it down at the last minute. So we are here at Gatwick Airport. It is getting dark, and we're going to head on down to Ibiza. I'm probably going to fiddle the time once we get airborne, just so we've got something to look at on the way, because it can get a little bit bleak just staring into darkness. I don't know about the rest of you, but night flying isn't really my thing. So at the moment we are getting boarded. EasyJet are doing the boarding for us for reasons that aren't entirely clear to me, but that's okay. And for whatever reason it's decided to use the stairs and not the jetway. Again, not really sure why it's chosen to do that, but whatever. Anyway, oh, there's a missing texture in there, as you can tell. I'm still sorting out the livery for this plane. You can see we've got an AirNOTT livery, but it's only barely functional. It's not ready to be released yet, but I figured I'd show it off tonight as a bit of a preview. If you want liveries for the rest of our planes, head over to the website airnott.co.uk/liveries, I think, and you'll soon find it, or just go to airnott.co.uk and you'll find the link there. Very good. Who have we got in the chat then? Let's have a look. Dawson and Chelsea, Sidestick and Chris and Mr. Robert, Chelsea again, and that Airbus guy. Hope you're all doing well. We've got Hugh in the YouTube vertical stream. Evening, Hugh. You're the first chatter in the YouTube vertical stream. There is a horizontal stream, if you're wondering. I know it seems to confuse a lot of people. It seems that I spend half my time explaining to people in the vertical stream that there is actually a horizontal stream too, but that's fine. I guess we'll just work with that. I really wish YouTube would make it so that when you turn your phone, it will go from vertical and it will then load the horizontal stream. That'd be really nice. TikTok do it, so there's no reason why YouTube can't figure that one out. That's for sure. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. If you could hit the like button, that'd be a massive help. It really does help the stream a ton. It's completely free, and it helps out an absolute ton. So I appreciate you. Of course, Twitch is completely dead. We are streaming on Twitch, but as is the way. Just crickets over on Twitch. So I don't know. We'll just keep streaming there, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to record tonight's flight as well, and then I might try and chop it up into a video afterwards. So we'll see how that goes. If you're watching this in the video afterwards, apologies if anything seems weird and clunky, but it's a bit of an experiment. My hope is that streaming can kind of become the root of my content, which obviously means more streams, which is good. But then obviously the streams can then become other content that's edited down and maybe serve to be a bit more valuable after you stop going live. Because once you stop being live, it's kind of where the value ends. Tricky, I'm looking to push back at about 8:10. So yeah, we're loading up, and we should probably get this plane fired up. Yes, we are on VATSIM tonight. We are on VATSIM indeed. So, GSX is loading the plane for us. We've got 220 planned, almost 4,000 kilos of cargo, and 10,000 kilos of fuel. Well, almost 11,000, actually, to get us there. Hey, well done, Hugh. That's the spirit. Right, let's get some navs on. 1, 2, 3... let's get some lights on as well. Getting a bit dark, isn't it? Okie dokie. Right, what was I doing? No smoking. Auto. Oxygen. Auto. We'll arm the emergency lights. That, I think, will do us for the moment. Let's have a look, Tricky. Oh yeah, there you are. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be you, and I saw a thundering great 777 next to me. Oh, how cool is this update though? How cool is this update?
Hello.
It's like we've got more awesomeness, basically, from the Phoenix.
This way.
I'm actually starting to feel cold. I have to turn my air conditioner up.
This way.
How's my confidence on VATSIM?
Passengers
I've
bus
been
is
using
coming.
Beyond ATC for a while, and that's helped a lot for you. Yeah, it would do. It would do. It's a great practice tool. I mean, my confidence ebbs and flows with VATSIM, really. I have good days, I have bad days, so... yeah, I guess it's like anything else, just keep at it. I find if I'm doing it more consistently, that's the key. So if I were to do like 4 days straight of VATSIM and then not touch it for 3 weeks, my confidence would then be low afterwards. So I think sticking at it is probably the thing to do. Otherwise, I would advise maybe look at doing observer flights. So when you connect to VATSIM, you can tick connect in observer mode, and it will connect you into VATSIM. You'll see everyone. Our trick has disappeared. You'll see everyone. You'll be able to hear everyone on frequency, but they won't be able to see you. They won't be able to hear you. So you can kind of basically park up next to somebody, figure out where they're going,
Passengers boarding
and
started.
basically follow them, and just listen out for their call sign and act accordingly, and see if you do the same things that they do. That's a really good way to get started. Cheers, Tony. Right, what is the ATIS for Gatwick tonight? 136. 136, 525.
Hello.
Looking forward to tonight's flight. Not a particularly short one.
Meter 1014. Acknowledge receipt of information hotel and advise aircraft type on first contact. Advise on initial contact.
This way, please.
You have information. Hotel.
1014.
This is Gatwick Airport information hotel at time 1820 Zulu. Automatic. Runway in use to SIXL. Transition level 70. Data link clearances are available. When 320 at 6. When variable between 270 and 350. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Few clouds at 2000.
Alright, let's tune ground.
Quebec Alpha, Lima, Papa, and Alpha Sierra.
This way. This way, please.
Quebec Alpha, Lima, Papa, Alpha Sierra.
How's the VATSIM volume? Too high? Too low? I can turn it down, obviously.
Easy 5-3 Mike. Papa, Sam 50, fully ready push.
Turn it down for a little bit.
Welcome on board. Hello.
Okay, so we've got navs are going to be aligned in 5 minutes.
This way. Boarding pass, please.
Let's get our flight plan loaded in.
May I see your boarding pass?
Flight in it. God, I've nearly forgotten how to do this.
This way. Hello. Hello.
Taipan, we are flying for me. So we've got a virtual airline over on New Sky. So we're doing one of our flights tonight to hopefully earn a bit of money for the airline. I had a bit of a shocker on that one recently. Not going to lie, I checked in on the figures the other day. It was like, oh, goodness me. So, yeah.
This way.
See if we can right that wrong a little bit.
Welcome on board.
Which scene are you using for Lieb? Hopefully, if I've installed it correctly, builds. That is the plan.
Hello.
Okay, our cruise allegedly is 330.
Good evening.
Cost index of 60.
Hello.
And our flight number is X-Ray November Oscar for AirNOTT 120. Now, the flight number has been chosen by New Sky tonight, 120. Now, normally I just go as 121. I don't know why. I chose that number once and I liked it, so I stuck with it. But I want to try and use different flight numbers for different flights, so I don't end up just constantly getting stuck with 121. So if I say 121 tonight, remind me in chat, will you? Because it's a high chance that I might do that. Evening, Alex. How's it going, mate? How did I find the A319? I found it to be a slippery eel, but I love it. It's the is the reason. Why the vertical stream? We have both. Some people want to watch vertical, some people don't. There's a horizontal stream. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see both. It's all good. There is a Discord server, however, it's for channel members only at this point. Not because I want the money, particularly, although the money's great and it helps. It's just basically to add some friction to getting in so that we don't get bombarded by idiots, basically.
Hello. Good evening.
Alright, so that's seeing it done.
Welcome on board. Hello.
And I'm going to leave this for the minute until we get confirmation from ATC that we're actually going out on what I think we're going out on. Are we fully loaded yet? Almost. Almost. Half the cargo. Getting off for 2/3 of the fuel.
Welcome on board. May I see your boarding pass? This way.
Yeah, 319's good fun. I found the 321 kind of behaves itself a bit more. It's like it goes where you point it, whereas the yeah, the 319, you got to keep an eye on that one. Good fun though.
This way.
Good fun. How you'll find it? Have you got a favourite, like 19 versus 21? Have we got any thoughts on that?
May I see your boarding pass?
It's the sports car of the Airbus.
Good evening.
Joshua says, do I prefer Airbus or Boeing? Specifically their narrow-body aircraft. I ebb and flow between the two, to be completely honest. Hang on, let me put on my yoke cam. So I've got this Boeing yoke here, and I absolutely flipping adore this Boeing yoke. So I do tend to gravitate towards Boeing just so I've got an excuse to fly it. This Airbus stick, while incredible value, by contrast, isn't up to the same standard as this yoke. So it always feels like you're kind of stepping down a little bit in terms of the experience you get. I mean, I suppose you could just fly an Airbus with the yoke because nothing's stopping you doing that, but I don't know, that kind of triggers me a little bit. So, on that basis, yeah, I don't know, it's so hard. I think probably gratitude is my overwhelming reaction to all of it. It's like we've got Phoenix, which is just killing it on the Airbus side. Obviously, you know, we've got 321 and A19, 319 just released. And over on PMDG side, they're just kicking out these amazing Boeings, and you know, we've got Bluebird coming soon. So you know, there's a whole load of stuff, really, that's going on. So yeah, depends on which day you ask me. Is a very long-winded way of answering that question, I suppose. Good. You're waiting on the A350. What's that? The Unibuilds one, Chris? Been grinding the EasyJet ops on the 319. Still need to do more of the 321.
Hello.
AL Gaming, thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate that. For real. That's awesome. Thanks, man. Okay, so we're supposed to be off blocks today at 8:10 UK time, so 25 minutes. New Sky will fine us if we are not. If we're like 10 minutes either side of that. So it's important that we try and get the plane configured such that we're ready to go when the time is right.
May I see your boarding pass?
While we're waiting for passengers and fuel, because we've got a little way to go yet. Well, cargo's done, fuel's done, just a few more passengers. Christoph says, can anyone join your VA? Yeah, so you need to get yourself an account with New Sky, and then you can sort of browse all the different virtual airlines that are on New Sky, and we are among them. All I ask is that you have a pilot rating of 8.0 or higher, which hopefully means you know roughly what you're doing. To get a rating, you need to do one flight for what they call the New Sky Academy airline, which is basically like a training place where you can train without fear of being judged. And yeah, if you do a flight and it goes okay in that, then you should be good.
Welcome on board.
Right, I'm going to have a little quick chat to ATC and get our IFR clearance and see if we can get the show on the road.
Hello.
Or ED 762.
Can you hear the ATC? Is that okay?
ED 762, correct. ED 801, which taxi? ED 8201, taxi, holding point
This way.
at holding point Alpha 3 via Lima, Papa, and Alpha November. Taxi Alpha 3 via Lima, Papa, and Alpha November, engaging.
This way, please. Good evening.
ED 53 Mike Papa, contact Gatwick Tower 124.230, goodbye.
124.220, thanks. See ya. Easy 53 Mike Papa.
Hello.
ED 67 Julia Foxtrot, contact Gatwick Tower 124.230, goodbye.
Gatwick Tower 124.230, easy 67 Julia Foxtrot.
Getting a word in edgeways might be interesting here, mightn't it? Gatwick ground, AirNOTT 120 at stand 561. Information hotel on board, aircraft type Airbus A321, looking for IFR clearance to Ibiza. Hopefully they have that.
X-ray November Oscar 120, Gatwick ground, standby.
That's interesting. They called back with X-ray November Oscar. So they decoded my call sign.
Big Bird 57 Tango, PDC is not active. Please read flight plan or request clearance of the voice.
Is that tricky? Ba, 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 ba. Alright, let's get 6,000 in the window, because looking at charts while I sit here patiently. Looks like that is going to be our initial altitude. 257 is our runway heading.
762, snow 106, push, request push start.
This is a very, very slow
762,
scroll.
506, push and start, cruise base east.
Should have gone the other way. Whoa, Thomas! The €50 donation. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Thomas, I only just saw that. I don't know how long that's been there.
Ground, good evening, Speedbird 57 Tango Heavy at stand 558 with hotel, type set 777, looking via Ibiza, please.
If Tricky gets served first, I'm going to be mad.
Big Bird 57 Tango, Gatwick ground, standby.
Yes! Get in that queue, Tricky. You wait your turn. What's going on then? Is there like a queue or something? Hey, boarding is completed. That's good. Well, let's send this to the MCDU while we're waiting. Success. And we will do our departure performance. Sync final load sheet. Sync the weather. Calculate flaps 2. Send to MCDU. I love it. It makes it so easy. It really does. So look, now if we go to our perf page, it's all filled out. You go to init. Init page B. It's all filled out. I love it. Tricky, I thought you were going to jump the queue then. I really did. Try flight of FS2 crew. Very nice on VATSIM. Okay. Never tried that. Oh, but yes it is, mate.
Speedbird 57 Tango, change your flight plan needed. Sent you a new one there. Are you happy to accept?
Oh, look out. We're not going to get one of
Yeah,
these,
we
are
can
we?
accept for 57 Tango Heavy.
Speedbird 57 Tango, clear to destination via Bogna 1 X-ray, squawk 6470.
Why do I get the feeling I'm going to get the same?
Clear destination, Boomerang 1 X-ray and 6470 57 Tango.
Can we see the Osprey livery? Bill, I'm not flying as Osprey. I'm flying as myself. Although, much respect to Luke and everything he does on that channel. It's awesome.
Easy 8201, contact Gatwick Tower 124.230. Good flight.
Thomas, honestly, I can't thank you enough for that
Very
donation.
good evening, Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec. Fokker F28, stand 143 left with information hotel. We're non-RNAV requesting IFR clearance to General Street, please.
Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec, Gatwick ground, stand by. AirNOTT 120, just need to make a slight change to your flight plan. I've sent you through a new one now. Are you happy to accept?
Gatwick ground, AirNOTT 120, stand by. Right, what have they sent? Gatwick ground, AirNOTT 120, affirm, that's fine.
AirNOTT 120, you're clear to destination via Bogna 1 X-ray, squawk 3404.
It will be for via Bogna 1 X-ray, squawk 3404, AirNOTT 120.
AirNOTT 120, correct.
Alrighty. Second time I've had this on VATSIM recently. So basically you start off with what you think you're going to get.
Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec, clear to destination as filed via Seaford 1 X-ray.
3404. Hello, Mark.
Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec, Gatwick ground.
So we've just had a flight plan change.
Go ahead.
Cleared to destination via Seaford 1
So
X-ray,
departure.
3374.
Cleared to General via the Seaford 1 X-ray departure, squawk 3374, Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec.
Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec, correct.
So, Bogna.
And Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec, request startup.
Yeah, so everything looks the same. Bembo
1
and
Alpha Quebec,
Drake.
startup approved.
So yeah, we'll just delete.
Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec.
If we delete the Sierra Foxtrot Delta.
Easy 762, Chris Taxi.
Clear that one. We should be in business. Bogna, Benbow, Drake, Sitet.
Holding 762.
Well, I don't know, it is a bit different. It is a little bit different.
Gatwick ground, hello, Weasel 4 Bravo with information hotel stand 22 requesting IFR to Eindhoven, please.
Drake, Sitet, then we got what?
04 Bravo, clear destination via frame 1 Mike, squawk 3434.
Clear destination, frame 1 Mike departure and squawk 3434 with 4 Bravo.
04 Bravo, correct.
Right, 26 left, out we
Air
go.
France 77, correction, Air France 788, Gatwick ground.
Benbow.
788, my apologies, I think I took a wrong turn when I was trying to vacate runway 26.
Break. Sit at.
Air France 788, Roger. Taxi stand 28 via 08 left and Juliet.
France 788, taxi to runway, sorry, gate 28, cross 08 left, and then taxi Juliet.
A little bit confused really with this new flight plan.
Gatwick ground, Seaford 1 Alpha Quebec. Is there any chance we could be re-cleared on the Seaford 5 Mike?
Tricky, I think there's a bit more to it than just removing the that waypoint.
Alpha Quebec, Roger, cleared destination via Seaford 5 Mike, squawk 3374.
Clear destination Seaford 5 Mike, squawk 3374, Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec.
Easy 762, taxi Alpha 1 via Papa and Alpha Sierra.
So if we go Sopil.
Taxi Alpha 1 via Papa and Alpha Sierra, easy 762.
Tricky, I'm confused.
Easy 762, correction, taxi Alpha 3 via Papa and Alpha November.
Alpha 3 via Papa Alpha November, easy 762.
Hello, Gatwick ground, DZ 31 Bravo radio check.
Easy 31 Bravo, Gatwick ground, readability 5.
Air France 788, could I hold short of G6 for a second? I just want to check the chart.
Let's have a look.
Air France 788, Roger.
So.
Gatwick ground, good afternoon, Vueling 23 Kilo, radio check.
Wagner, Benbow, Drake,
Feeling
Sitet,
Echo, Gatwick ground, readability 5.
Sopil,
Thanks, Vueling 9 Echo.
Ballon, Evpoc, this is looking better. Narak, GAI, Lomra, Roken, Pumal. Next one should be yeah, that's pretty good. Quarter. There's top of descent. Yeah, we're in business. We are in business. Good.
Type A320 Neo, ready for IFR clearance to Gran Canaria as filed.
Right, we can get this show up and running. Let's get the fuel pumps on. Get the seatbelt signs on. Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure we had it right.
Gatwick ground, standby.
This is nothing worse than ballsing it all up, to be honest. Get APU on. Yeah, that's another way of putting it, Tricky.
Heathrow ground, Logan crossing 08 left for holding point Tango.
Logan 501, Gatwick ground, standby. Break easy 762, contact Gatwick Tower 124.230.
124.230, thank you very much. Jesus, that was excellent.
Yeah, sorry for ignoring you there, chat. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't making a giant fool of myself. Not for the first time on that sim, of course.
Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec requests pushback.
Okay, we're just waiting for this light to turn to available. Then we can get ourselves pushed back. There we go. APU bleed.
Welling 9 Echo Gatwick ground.
Welling 9 Echo.
Welling 9 Echo, change of control. I'm aware that you're asking for clearance. You're number 1, just stand by.
Yow.
We'll close Welling 9 Echo.
Dublin ground sends air regards. Oh god. Oh man, that was funny, wasn't it? That was funny.
I'm Welling 9 Echo. If you'd like to just give me your aircraft type and your start number, please.
Welling 9 Echo, aircraft type A320 Neo, stand 567.
Welling 9 Echo, thank you. You cleared to Golf Charlie Lima Papa, November 1 X-ray departure, squawk 7574. Information India is now current, QNH 1014.
Cleared to Gran Canaria by the November 1 X-ray departure, squawk 7574, India. Correction, information India's current, QNH 1014, Welling 9 Echo.
Welling 9 Echo, reback is correct.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec requests pushback. Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec to standby. I've got an Air France 777. I just want to make sure that he is taxiing to runway 2, to stand 25, break Air France 788, Gatwick ground.
Air France 788, I was told that I would taxi to gate 28.
Air France 788, confirm your taxi to stand 25 by, I'm assuming by Juliet and November and Kilo.
Air France 788, I was told to taxi towards gate 28 via Juliet. Juliet.
Yeah, that's fine. Just change your controller. You can continue taxi then to stand 28 by Juliet. Thank you very much. Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec. Stand 143, push and start is approved after the Air France Boeing 777 has cleared behind left to right. After the Air France 777 passes behind, push and start approved facing.
Locking gear.
Welling 9 Echo, ready for push and start, stand 567.
Welling 9 Echo, stand 567, push and start is approved.
Push and start approved, 9 Echo.
Gatwick ground, AirNOTT 120, stand 561, ready for push and start.
AirNOTT 121 to stand by 2.
You say AirNOTT 121? Did I say AirNOTT 121?
Ground Griffin 2680, aircraft type is A321 at stand 564, requesting IFR clearance is filed.
Griffin 2680, Gatwick ground, stand by for your clearance please. Break AirNOTT 120, just confirm that you are requesting push and start from stand 560.
Stand 561 for push and start, AirNOTT 120.
120, roger, stand 561, your push and start is approved, face to the south.
Push and start approved, face south, AirNOTT 120. Continue pushback. We want nose to the right, tail to the left.
Gatwick ground, Logan 5.
Release party from
Logan 501, welcome to Gatwick. You can taxi Juliet Sierra. Where we're going to put you. So taxi Juliet Sierra Lima, hold short Quebec Alpha, please. We'll bob you on stand 555.
How you doing, DK? Of course I remember you.
Okay, so that's hold short Quebec Alpha for stand 555 via Juliet Sierra.
Where is it taking me? You better scrape me up. Yeah, okay, it's good now.
We're there for Bravo. I've got you on stand 22. Your push and start is approved and face to the east, please.
Push and start approved facing east with there for Bravo.
Ground, good evening, Skyway 631 on 0 left. Skyway 631, a very warm welcome to Gatwick. Taxi, please, to stand 52 via 08 left, Romeo and Lima. Okay, stand 52, 08 left, Romeo and Lima, Skyway 631.
Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec, ready for taxi.
Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec, taxi to hold point Alpha 2 via Juliet, Papa and Alpha Sierra.
Juliet Papa Alpha Sierra to Alpha 2, Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec.
Yeah, it's engine 2. Almost started. There we go, available. Let's go engine 1. So, flight directors are on, auto brake will set to max, predictive wind shear will set to on, arm the speed brakes, set flaps to 2.
Logan 501, you can continue taxi to stand 555, please, via Lima, Quebec Alpha.
Continue taxi to stand 555 via Lima, Quebec Alpha.
Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec contact, Gatwick Tower now 124.230, bye-bye.
124.230, Speedbird 1 Alpha Quebec, good evening.
Alright, parking brakes on.
Confirmation for a good engine start.
Let's tell GSX to go away.
Cockpit to ground. We have a
And
good
we'll
engine
get
start.
our taxi clearance from ground. Gatwick ground, AirNOTT 120, ready for taxi.
AirNOTT 120, default position, please. I've got an inbound aircraft, I'll get you out.
Roger, 120. It is busy tonight, eh?
Swelling 9 Echo, ready for taxi.
Well in 9 Echo, default position, please.
Wilco 9 Echo.
Here they come.
AirNOTT 120, after the Logan A320 turns on to stand at 555. You can continue taxi Quebec Alpha and hold short Lima, please.
After the incoming traffic goes to stand 555, Quebec Alpha, hold short Lima, AirNOTT 120.
Well in 9 Echo, once the AirNOTT A321 starts to taxi on Quebec Alpha, follow that aircraft please and hold short of Lima in sequence.
Follow aircraft, hold short Lima in sequence, well in 9 Echo.
Okay, so we're waiting for this plane to turn in.
501, could you give me a handy hand on when to turn right for my stand?
Yeah, Logan, you just got 554 to your right hand side now. It's the next stand that is to the right hand side of the British Airways Boeing 777. No problem.
With that 4 Bravo, request taxi.
With that 4 Bravo taxi holding point Mike 1 via Juliet and Mike.
Holding point Mike 1 via Juliet and Mike Wizard for Bravo.
And ground speed bird 5 Tango, extend 558, ready for push and start.
Seabird 57 Tango, roger, I will call you back. And AirNOTT 120, you can now continue taxi to holding point Alpha 2 via Quebec Alpha, Lima, Papa, and Alpha Sierra.
Continue to Alpha 2 via Quebec Alpha, Lima, Papa, and Alpha Sierra, AirNOTT 120.
Well, in 9 Echo, you can follow the AirNOTT A321 to holding point Alpha 2.
Alright, let's
via
rock and
Quebec
roll.
Alpha, Lima, Papa, Alpha Sierra.
Sorry, say again the holding point for 9 Echo.
Yeah, following 9 Echo, you can follow the AirNOTT A321 in front of you, holding point Alpha 2 via Quebec Alpha, Lima, Papa, Alpha Sierra.
DK, it's because I'm not affiliate
Alpha
yet
2
on
via Quebec Alpha, Lima, Papa,
Twitch.
Alpha Sierra, running 9 Echo.
Speedbird 57 Tango after the second aircraft is taxis behind, left to right, and is clear. Stand 558. Your push and start is approved, face to the south.
As of the second aircraft, the AB-20 is passed left and right, push back approved, so that's down 558. What do you think?
Air France 78, stand by please. Break, Wizz Air 4 Bravo, contact Gatwick Tower now on 124.230.
Tower 124.230 Wizard for Bravo, bye bye.
Air France 78, Airbus message.
Alright, left onto Lima, right onto Papa. Josh, we're heading down to Ibiza. Alright. Right is clear. Left is clear. We can make the turn.
We'll get the 501 shut down, thanks for the thanks.
Thanks for flying in, bye bye.
Who is that beeping at me now? Just had someone saying, are you the real AirNOTT?
Ground Griffin 2680, standing by for clearance.
Ah, someone's watching my stream right now, they say. Awesome. Appreciate you.
Griffin 2680, thank you, apologies. I'm going to send you a reroute then by text, and I'll give you clearance.
Roger, that's Griffin 2680.
Right, so this is Lima, and then we're going to go
2680,
right onto
your
Papa.
Is via text. You are cleared to
Seen a bit tricky.
Lima Echo India Bravo, Bogner 1 X-ray departure, reroute Bogner, Lima 612, Bendo, Uniform Yankee 47, Drake, Zenith.
Cheers, Mario.
Squawk code 4465.
Oh, man. Love the eye tracker for moments like this.
Just give us a second to review that, and we'll call back. But I think the squawk was 4465. Griffin 2680.
Squawk code is correct. Call me back, please. AirNOTT 20, contact Gatwick Tower now, 124.230. Have a good flight, bye bye.
24230, AirNOTT 120. Right. One, 2, 4, 2, 3, 0. I should have done this before. Should have done this before.
Contact Gatwick Tower 124.230.
Go Tower, Kestrel 34, Hotel Golf, fully established, ILS 265.
Kestrel 34, Hotel Golf, Gatwick Tower, good evening. Wind 310 at 4 knots, runway 26 left, continue approach.
26 left, continue approach, Kestrel 34, Hotel Golf.
Kestrel 34 Golf, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, Kestrel 34 Hotel Golf.
So we want
With
Alpha...
Air 4 Bravo, Nova for ATC, 1 for Unicom 122.8, bye bye.
122.8,
Sierra.
Wizard 4, Bravo, bye bye.
Gatwick Tower, AirNOTT 120 with you on Alpha Sierra.
AirNOTT 120, Gatwick Tower, also with you. Behind the landing Airbus A321 on the 2-mile final via... Which one are you going to today? Via Alpha 1, line up and wait, runway 26 left behind.
Line up and wait via Alpha 1 after the incoming A320, AirNOTT 120. Right, chat, apologies in advance if I'm being a bit slack on responding to you all. I've kind of got to concentrate here for the next couple of minutes. I'm sure you all understand. Okay, Alpha 1. Go. Beautiful. Right, strobes on.
Flyer 2 Yankee turning on to final, DME 7.
Flight 2 Yankee, Gatwick Tower, good evening. Winds free 104 knots, runway 26 left, continue approach.
Continue approach, Flyer 2 Yankee.
Tower of running 9 Echo with you on taxiway Papa. We're currently holding position due to a engine 1 failure.
Oh dear.
Flyer 2 Yankee established on the ILS.
AirNOTT 120, winds free 104 knots, runway 26 left, continue, correction, clear for takeoff.
Lift takeoff, 26 left, AirNOTT 120.
Berlin 9 Echo, contact ground 121.
Right, let's turn and burn.
121.05, running 9 Echo.
Kestrel 34 Hotel Golf, off to Gatwick, continue on to Juliet, hold short Romeo, contact ground 121.805, bye bye.
Short Romeo 121.805, Kestrel 34 Hotel Golf, thanks, bye bye.
Okay, so we're doing a flex takeoff, so the engines are derated. We're not giving it all the power. We're giving it just enough power.
Flight 2 Yankee, DME 3.8.
Would like a medal, sir?
Up and away. Positive rate. Positive climb, I should say. In an Airbus, isn't it?
Flight 2
Gear up.
Yankee, runway 26 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 26 left, Flight 2 Yankee.
AirNOTT 120, Fortuno for ATC, 1 for Unicom 122, that's fine, bye bye.
Over to Unicom, thanks to ATC, AirNOTT 120. Alright, Unicom it is 122.8. Gatwick traffic AirNOTT 120, airborne 1,700 feet on the Bognor 1 X-ray departure, 26 left, Gatwick traffic. Alright, throttles into climb. And we will just follow. Jolly good, so we're hand flying the first part of the approach. The departure, I should say. Good grief, what's wrong with me? Beautiful. Right, turn coming up. We'll hopefully get down to Ibiza in pretty good time. Beautiful. Right, I'll be able to pay some attention to you all in a moment. I realise I've been quite neglecting of the chat. Okay, so we're going to hold at 5,000 feet. Come out of this turn. And we'll get the old autopilot on the go. Right, what's going on? Wasp's in, and Thomas. Very good, very good, very good. Josh says, good takeoff, what's your ETA for Ibiza? It should say at the top of the screen, actually, 2 hours and 50 minutes, although don't believe that, because of course at the moment we are climbing, so we're slower than we otherwise would be. Let's just disarm the ground spoilers. I didn't press the autopilot button. No, I did not. Much obliged. Good. Good, 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 good. DK over in Twitch says, I want the throttle quadrant with the add-ons. Does the flat things work for Boeing aircrafts as well? Yes, it does. It does work. Oh, Thomas, thanks for gifting the memberships. That's awesome, man. Thank you. It does work by default. However, I found that it was a little bit tricky because obviously you kind of got detents built in, so it kind of clicks on the Airbus flat position. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, like click, 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 click. And some of the Boeing flat positions, because there's more of them, lie in between. So I did a whole video about how to get that set up, or how I set it up, because I did a 3D print mod. Maybe make it out sort of just here. These little inserts that I've printed and slotted in. This handle is 3D printed as well. So actually sort of lift it, drop it in. Very, very nice indeed. Like it a lot. Jolly good. Yeah, Tricky will be on our tail. I should put it up for sale. Oh, you mean put the 3D prints up for sale? I can't. It's not my design, so I'm not able to do that. However, it's only like £4 to buy it. So I recommend, if you can, if you are interested in doing it, you should. Because someone worked very hard to make that, and the least I can do is chuck them £4 or whatever it was. You're welcome, Thomas. It's nice to be back streaming with you. I'm well aware that the summer holidays have not been my most productive, let's put it that way. Kids off school, holidays, stuff. Kind of looking forward to a little bit of normality now. Let's fiddle the time, because I fancy some sunset vibes. I don't know about you. We can have a look at this amazing aircraft. Look at that. Let's go. So this livery is not completely finished. Still a bit of a work in progress. But I'm quite happy with it so far. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, well done, Harvey. I was just about to say, yeah, the Airbus auto-tunes it. So, in fact, it's a little bit of a way off yet, but we might as well do it. So, select the airport, arrival, ILS X06. We're doing the Chord 1 Sierra. And Demev. And set. So now, if we pop into plan, we can now start climbing up to 330 as well. Do open climb. This now means the plane will kind of give everything to get up to 330 within the cost index constraint that it currently has. There we go. And that is our little route in. All done. Nice and easy. Can I confirm nuts will be served or not be served? You don't get any snacks on AirNOTT. It's totally rubbish. I wouldn't recommend it. Do not recommend. 0 stars. Hypothetically, if I was to go about making some merch, is that anything you guys would be interested in, or like just not really? It's fine if not. I'm just genuinely curious. Trying to assess market demand. Hey, Josh is up for it. There you go. On that basis, we'll do it. I'm thinking coffee mugs, water bottles, hats, t-shirts, hoodies, that kind of thing. Someone talking to me from earlier. What's Andrew saying? Having issues with Microsoft Flight Sim crashed to desktop, but it's not hardware related as I've checked. What else could it be? Everything vanilla apart from the Phoenix A320. Lordy. DK says I should kind of advertise my Twitch channel. Yeah, maybe I should. Kind of not that bothered about it though. Do you know what I mean? I feel like YouTube's my home. If I happen to have a Twitch thing going as well, that's fine. And if people want to watch it, that's fine, but I'm not, like, desperate for it. It's more like a syndication endpoint versus the beating heart of everything that I do. AR Gaming? No, I'm not. No, thankfully for everyone, I'm not a real-life pilot. I'm not sure if I'd actually want to be. As daft as that sounds. Doing a flight on VATSIM from Copenhagen to Liverpool. Views are beautiful. Indeedy. Ah, right, sorry about that. I was having to sort out some nonsense in the YouTube vertical stream. Apologies to everyone who had to see that. Is this Starfield? No, it's not Starfield. Although I was thinking the other day maybe I should give Starfield another chance. I feel like I got a bit bored of Starfield, but on the other hand, did I actually give it a proper chance? Don't know. Maybe I didn't. But there came a point where I was like, I don't have very much time. Like, we're running the channel, or channels, I should say. I've got a second tech channel that's kind of like the baby channel, really. I don't do a huge amount with it. But after like I've done all the editing, the scripting, the thumbnailing, the uploading, the this, the that, the everything, if I'm going to have half an hour to play a game, it kind of needs to be fun. Almost immediately. Otherwise I don't know. I get that you have to invest some time into a game sometimes. I just don't have that time to invest. I kind of need instant gratification. Which is why I kind of like Call of Duty. You can just turn that on, have a quick few rounds of multiplayer, get beaten by a 12-year-old and then go to bed knowing that you tried your best. What Venga Boy's in your head? Yeah, now I have too. Thanks. Appreciate it. Let's let the passengers out, because then we can serve them some drinks and they can start using the toilet. What are my shadow settings? Goodness, I've forgotten. I've got a funny feeling that I lowered them a little bit because I kind of got so sick of the fact that they look rubbish even on the highest settings. I was like, well, I might as well lower them. Ah, here's France. Not a million miles away from Nuts, are we? Which is where I spent about a couple of weeks ago. Right at the end of runway 03. I think it's 03. Let me check. Yeah, 03. Absolutely awesome place. Main thing with that sim is that it costs so much time commitment, then I end up on the AI versions and they're horrible at handling the approach. Yeah, I can relate. The AI stuff's getting better though, I think. Say Intentions is coming along very nicely. But yeah, you've got to appreciate it's such a hard problem to solve. Such a hard problem to solve. So much so that chucking AI at it does seem like probably the reasonable way to crack that nut, I would say. Yeah. I don't mind the time commitment of that sim, because I kind of think the streams by default have a fairly hefty time commitment. So I guess I'm kind of in it for that to start with, but I can see if you weren't a streamer, then yeah, that sim definitely adds another layer of friction to just the whole process of getting set up, getting started. It's not as simple as just going to the world map, clicking spawn, fly, you know, there's a lot more to it. How's the registration of AirNOTT on the VS database? Got a lecture off of Langdon Radar this afternoon saying I should get X-Ray November Oscar on the DB so they can find a call sign. Oh. Damn. Yeah, I haven't done anything to it. I was speaking to someone from the board of governors of VATSIM, and they said you can use whatever call sign you want. Just pop it in your remarks if you want them to know you as a name. So exactly what we're doing. So with that lecture from Langdon Radar, I would disregard on that basis. I mean, there is no VATSIM database. That's the thing. Like in that thread, I'll send you a message later, Wasp, to the forum thread. But they basically look at all sorts of different sources, and it varies by region. People in the US look at over here and over there, and I mean, my question was, how do I was hoping to find a database such that I could query it and try and find something that brought back 0 results. So then I knew that I could take it. But they were like, there's no real database. Sorry. It's just kind of cobbled together. And as such, there is no reserved call signs. Yeah, so you can become a VA, then they'll give you one. But there's certain requirements to becoming a VA that we are just not at yet. Yeah, all good, Wasp, I see it. Contrary to what I've been told. Maybe I'll ask in the forums again. Because I feel like I was talking to top brass in the forums. Not to disparage whoever you spoke to. But I've never heard of that rule, Wasp, at all. DK, yes, we do have a Discord server. It's reserved for, if you become a YouTube member, you get the link to it. That sim, you can do all the stuff, sim brief, etc. Yeah, and we did that on this channel for well over a year, almost 2. Like, this entire channel was just me doing full flights, just on my own, using sim brief to try and recreate semi-realistic flight plans, and we would fly along and have a natter and see if I botched up the landing. But I think there came a point where I just started to get a little bit fed up, and it started to seem a little bit pointless. There was a phase early on when I was learning. So I think the fact that I was learning kept me busy, as in learning to fly. Because, you know, when I first started this channel, if you were to go back to the very first YouTube short that I uploaded on this channel, at that point in time, I did not have a clue what I was doing. Not really. Not really. All the gear and no idea springs to mind, to be honest with you. I think I started on the default A320, and I'd heard a couple of whispers about this fly-by-wire thing, but I didn't really understand what it was. And honestly, I was like, oh no, you don't want to use a third-party aircraft, you want to use the one that comes with it. That's going to be the best one. But that's where I was at. How wrong I was. I remember thinking, like, oh, using a third-party aircraft, that's going to be nothing but trouble. It turns out it's like one of the best planes. So yeah, just that whole journey kept me busy to start with. Just like learning and trying to get better. And I think in a way that kind of made the content to start with. That was enough, really. But there came a point where we got quite well oiled, really, with doing full flights, you know, here, there and everywhere. I think we needed that sim, A, for the channel, but B, for my own sanity, because I was getting a little bit on the board side. Cheers, DK. Take it easy, mate. Yeah, that all sounds a bit weird to me, Wasp. That whole interaction doesn't quite add up. Good evening, Alexander. And Alex. Microsoft Flight Sim is a cool game. Yes, it is. Although some people would get upset by you calling it a game. It's not a game, it's a simulator. Almost at cruise. Where's Tricky? Where are you, Tricky? Should have passed me by now. Is that you back there? Put your foot down, Tricky, come on. What are you playing at? How's the ATC situation? Besides non-existent. Absolutely nothing. All the way there. Terrific. You missed the 7-4. Tricky, you got a PMDG 777. What do you need that 7-4 for? Now, once the PMDG 747-400 comes out, that's going to be a plane. A Liverpool ground has gone offline. Oh no. That's always the way, isn't it? It's always the way. I remember once I had a flight where I logged on thinking they were going to be on, and I got the plane fired up and they went offline. I thought, oh, it's okay because the destination's all online. By the time I get there, they were gone as well. So I did the whole thing on Unicom. It's almost like those hotel corridors that you walk down and like the lights kind of turn off automatically behind you. It's like that in reverse. Edmo, how you doing? I've got to be honest, Ricky, I never really enjoyed flying the stock 747. Maybe I should give it another go, but yeah, I don't know. Never quite did it for me, that one. Timely reminder, folks, hitting that like button does a huge amount of good for the channel and the video. It really, really, really does help. Left the taxi lights on. And the landing lights. My bad. What do I think of the new Frankfurt? I haven't actually seen it. I haven't seen it. I know there's a couple of videos doing the rounds today, which I did kind of pick up on, but I haven't actually watched it yet. But then there's also a really good free version that you can pick up on the Urbex store. So it's going to have to be pretty damn good for me to go for it over the free one that's already really good. So yeah, don't know. Be keen to check it out though. Good evening, Knocker. When are we landing? Apparently in 1 hour and 15 minutes, according to the timer at the top. However, that doesn't take into consideration of us slowing down for the descent and on the approach. So I would generally add another 10 or 15 to that. Currently flying London Luton to Ibiza. Only 45 minutes behind you. Oh, cool. Is that the Inibuilds Luton that you've got? Let's see if I can find you on the radar. Oh man, like, London Control's just come online now. Just as soon as we leave it. Are we live on Twitch also? Yes, we are. Yeah, they did a great job of that, didn't they? If I've done it right, and I didn't actually check before I went live because I'm stupid, I should have the Ibiza scenery. Which I've yet to fly into, so I hope it's working. Oh, there you go. Wasp is basically saying the exact same thing I just thought. 25 quid, is it? I don't feel like I'm flying in and out of Frankfurt enough at the moment to justify that. I mean, if it's your home base, then, like, I get it. But then that one from Orbex, or the one on the Orbex store, I should say, that's pretty good, you know, for a freebie. Pretty good. Yeah, the whole inside an airport wasp, I do get it now. It does look more realistic from the outside if you can see inside. So I do understand it. I didn't for a long time. I thought it was stupid. I was like, I don't understand why anybody would have that. Because, like, what are you going to do? Fly the drone camera and look at a poorly rendered WH Smiths. But actually, when you're taxiing into the gate and you can make out WH Smith sign through the window, then, yeah, it does look pretty cool. I would pay for airport scenery inside a terminal if I could order a beer and a burger. Oh, I don't know about you, but I could go for a beer and a burger right now. Too bad where I live I can't get anything like Uber Eats or delivery. Well, in fact, it's probably just as well that I can't, because I'd be rather large, I think, if that were the case. I love too. He says, I'm tracking you on SimBrief. Nice. Cheers, Train. Appreciate it. What plane is this? Says Quack. This is... Let me turn the volume down before we go to the outside view. This is the Airbus A321. I'm going to turn the time back again because... I get a bit bored flying at night. This is the big bus. What a beauty. So the livery's getting there. Slowly. Slowly. I did notice when we were boarding there was some like pink checkerboard inside. I think it was one of the flight attendants that you could see. Yeah, I'd say it's looking alright. So this is the IAE engine variant. We've got the CFM, then I've got to make delivery for the 319 for both engine variants, and we should be in business. But yeah, great plane. Very nice expansion. So it is an expansion pack to the Phoenix A320. But yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to have a lot more options that are Phoenix quality. What software do I use to make my liveries? It's a mixture. So for this one, for Phoenix, they give you a paint kit that you can download. And they kind of lean in towards Photoshop. It says Photoshop files that you can kind of draw over, which is fine. I prefer to use Blender. I find it a bit easier because where you've got like panels that join. Turn that down again. So for example here where the top of the tail, where am I going? Over here. So just here where the tail sort of meets the body, it's really hard to get these lines to line up. In fact you can see that, well they are sort of right, but that took me so long to get those two bits to line up. Whereas on Blender, you just overlay your graphic and just sort of paint it on like a template, and then Blender figures out where it should be drawn on the files based on how you painted it on the 3D model. So, swings and roundabouts. Any which way you slice it, I really don't enjoy doing liveries. It's part of the job that I really hate. Do not enjoy it at all. And it's one of those jobs that I only do like once every 6 months, because I only do it when a new plane comes out, and then I'm like, oh, phew, I can forget all about that again. And then sure enough, a new plane comes out and it's like, oh no, I've got to do a livery. Yeah, 319 is in the works, Wasp. Basically now I've done most of the legwork on the 321, the A319 should be easier. It should be a bit easier. What a filthy window. Gamer boy, this is an AirNOTT flight. There we are. We're flying to Ibiza from Gatwick. Oh, Maya, that spad.next, is that what you're talking about? Maybe, Alex, we'll see. I tend to fly mostly as myself on the channel. I don't tend to fly too much as like Ryanair or EasyJet. Well, maybe we could do that. I might run a poll on YouTube and see what people want. I've got a sneaky suspicion that you may have a point in that if I ran that poll, most people would be like, yeah, do EasyJet, do Ryanair, do this, do that. Maybe I should mix it up a bit. Do some of me and some of them. I mean, ultimately, regardless of what you choose to be, 99% of the stream is just this kind of view. And you can't see anyway, so does beg the question. Does it matter that much? Hour and 5 to go, apparently. Whereabouts are you, Maya? Tricky, you pass that other person. Is my squawk code 6470? No, 3404. At least I hope it is, because that's what I thought I typed in. Yeah, 3404. I wanted to follow you on this flight. I've only just set off. Funny you say that. I just spotted you on the radar as I was looking for Mayor. 55 miles off of Luton. You took off from Gatwick, didn't you? Having a bit of a job finding you. Yeah, literally, Wasp. I'm looking at the map now and it's like everywhere is covered except for where I am. Living typical, isn't it, that? Never mind. Hi, Pigeon. Long time. Still, at least it gives us a nice chance to relax. Oh, those clouds look good, don't they? Those clouds do look good. So, if you're not subbed to the channel, I mean, of course I would say this, but I strongly advise you get subbed and turn on the notifications because we've got some pretty cool content coming out soon. Can't talk about it. Not until the video's out. But I'm really excited about it. What's my next flight? Don't know. Possibly flying back from Ibiza, who knows? Might be stalking AirNOTT on VATSIM radar. You stalk away, Oliver. You stalk away. He bought Aberdeen on a sale. Nice. How much was it? And who's it by? And is it any good? So many questions. Sorry. I need your help as well, everyone. I need you to recommend me a car to buy. I went car shopping the other day. And I came home without a car, but with a headache. You've only been on VATSIM for 5 weeks. Nice. Good for you. That's good going. Mini Cooper S, 10 out of 10. Chris, I've got a BMW at the moment, and I'm very grumpy with it. It's this close to being given the boot. It is getting old though, which is probably half of the problem. Mercedes A200, okay. Matthew, we're heading down to Ibiza. There you go, John's there with the answer I wanted. Aston Martin. have a question for important research. I have no opinion. I did sit in a Hyundai Tucson that I thought was very nice. That wasn't bad. And also the what's it called? Kia Sportage. A Kia and Hyundai basically the same thing because they seem awfully similar. But it's like Hyundai give you a 5-year warranty and Kia give you a 7, so it's like... Dunno. I think if I had my way, we'd get around in a 3-wheeled van, but my wife won't allow it. Spend all my money on graphics cards and processors and yokes and rudder pedals. I believe they're two completely different companies. Oh, I could have sworn they were linked in some way. Same business models. Yeah. They did feel very, very similar. Kia is a subsidiary. Oh. There you go, Cookie's got it sussed. Who needs a car when you've got a pretend plane? There we go. See? Oliver, I'm in exactly the same position. Tricky, if you're in the chat, maybe you can help Oliver out, and me. Any differences when flying into the US on VATSIM? Yeah, I don't know what to do. Don't know what to do about the car. I feel like maybe our current car's just gone wrong so much, so frequently, that it's just leaving a bad taste, and maybe we just need to get it fixed one last time, and we might be in the clear. Kia is 51% share owner of Hyundai Motors and Hyundai is 33%. Is there like another corporation on top of all of that that owns all of that that's underneath it? This will be the only leg tonight, Makala. I need my beauty sleep, you see. Now, I don't want you all getting your hopes up for the landing, okay? Just so you know, this might not be my finest hour. Is this real time? Yes, it is. Yeah, the issue we've got with the car at the moment is that it happens about once a week. You turn it on, and the first thing that comes up on the screen is that there was excessive battery discharge while stationary, and then it says it shut down all the systems, obviously to stop it draining all of its power, which is like, great, thanks. And then it's like, but why did that happen? There's also a leak. If you imagine, so it's a right-hand drive car being in the UK, but obviously there's an awful lot of left-hand drive ones out there as well. If you imagine where the steering column kind of goes through the footwell, fairly certain there's a grommet in our passenger footwell, which obviously plugs the hole that the steering column would have made. Fairly certain that's leaking, that's perished, and as a result, the back passenger footwell, because the water runs under the front passenger seat and ends up in the footwell of the passenger in the back, that's now wet, and I don't know whether that's taken out any electronics with it. We broke down spectacularly about 6 weeks ago, smoke coming out the steering column. That got fixed relatively cheaply, actually. And now the suspension is creaking like crazy. It's only been serviced and MOT'd like a month or two ago. But every time we go around a corner now, it sounds like a squeaky old bed. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I feel like it might be time to get rid. Can I put a thunderstorm on? Josh, unfortunately, mate, I can't. Not on VATSIM. Plus we're an autopilot, so wouldn't make a lot of difference in any case. Appreciate the $1.99 though, Josh. Sorry I can't do the thunderstorm. Baker says I'm getting the Phoenix later. That is the spirit, Baker. Well done. Well done, well done, well done. There it is, look at it. And yes, we have fiddled the time. Greetings from Angola. Very cool. Still no sign of any form of ATC. That's alright. Sounds like my missus' BMW. Yeah. The thing is, like, although it's going wrong a lot, and it's what is it now? 12, coming up 13 years old. It's still a gorgeous thing to drive. Like, we obviously went around all the dealerships sitting in like new cars, like the brand new ones inside the showroom. Then we sat in the approved used stuff outside, which is a bit older but still quite new and quite nice. And then we jumped back into ours thinking, oh, this is going to feel like awful after sitting in all the new stuff. And it didn't feel that bad. So it really has stood the test of time. It's just getting a bit flaky. Thing is, we bought it before we had kids, so we were both working, or able to work full time. It's a little bit different now. Which car is this? Oh, it's my car. It's mucking up. So yeah, it's going in the garage on Monday. I've asked the guy, just look at it. I'm not necessarily asking you to fix it, just look at it. Give me a round number to the nearest 200 or 300 quid, if you can. And we'll see what we can do. Oh, you got an M4, nice. Had it for 2 years. So is that 2 years old, or you've had it for 2 years? You shouldn't have any issues if it's only 2 years old, should you? It's when they get to 12 years old, like mine, that they start to get a bit funny. Oh, 3.5 grand. No way. 4 years old, 12,000. Oh, that's barely worn in. You'll be fine. Yeah, mine's 12 years old with 140,000 on it. I think we bought it, what was it, 40? It just clocked 40,000 when we bought it. It was about 18 months old. So it done a few miles, but still relatively new. And it's one of those things, like, you don't realise how long you've had it until it's like, oh god, we've had it nearly 10 years. So you sort of forgive it going wrong a bit. Because in my mind, it's still my new car, even though I've had it for 10 years. Yeah, that's it. Round it down to the nearest 500. Feels much better that way. I will say this though, my first car that I ever had was a Mitsubishi Colt, which is like a Fiesta size Mitsubishi. Can't buy them anymore. In fact, you can't buy Mitsubishi full stop in, I think, the UK and maybe Europe now. They've just pulled out of that market completely. That car never went wrong in any serious way. Obviously, like brakes, suspension, you know, the usual stuff. That happened. And nothing ever went wrong with it. And I only sold it in December. I've had that car for what? 18 years? Didn't miss a beat. I mean, the only reason we sold it is that we just felt we didn't need it. It was in perfect working order. Some kid came round and he needed a first car, and I think we put it on Facebook Marketplace, or so, I don't know. My wife listed it somewhere for like £1,000. The guy offered us $850. We're like, yeah, sure, whatever, and took it, and we're like, yay, we're rich. And then our actual one car that remains, i.e., the one we thought was a good car, starts playing up, and it's like, oh no, we should have kept the little one going. You want a 4x4 or anything? I mean, we sat in a Kia, what's it called, the C''D. I thought that was a little bit on the low side. I mean, it'd be fine. I guess I'd prefer an SUV for the ride height, but I've got no ambition to do any form of 4x4 in. I don't know. I think it's like a life goal of mine to just engineer my life such that I never need a car. But the trouble is, you kind of need one. Thoughts on electric? I mean, I'd love a Tesla, but A, they're too much money, and B, I'd be in constant fear of battery packs dying or degrading, and yeah, I don't know. Thomas isn't on board with the SUV idea. Sat in a Dacia. I thought that was interesting. It's interesting how they cut costs, like the corners that they cut in those. They seemed alright though. You know, cheap and cheerful. It's like you open the glove box. Unlike on our current car, you sort of open the glove box and it very sort of graciously opens, almost like it's on some sort of like soft close hinge thing where it sort of like, you know, reveals itself gradually as you open it if you just let gravity do its job. Whereas Dacia, you open it, it like falls down instantly, and all it's supported by is like, you know, like the strap material that you get on backpacks. It's kind of like that. But if it works, you know. Sup from South Africa. Nice. Hello to you. Model Ys are lovely cars though, I'll give you that. We did an Uber when we took the kids to London a few weeks ago. Drove up. In fact, that's when the car broke down on the way home, which was really annoying. But yeah, drove up. Literally drove just inside the ULEZ zone. So we had to pay for that, despite the fact our car was parked in the hotel car park the entire time. We had to pay like 25 quid for that, which is brilliant. But yeah, we got an Uber, and the guy that turned up had a Model Y. It was very, very cool. I loved seeing like how it was interpreting all the different cars on the road on the screen where it displays them. Clever stuff. Just checking we're not near top of descent. We've got a minute or two yet. Yeah, I've got to be honest, that Model Y felt like I was driving in a laptop. That's kind of how it felt. Never flown on VATSIM as I find it daunting. Would you recommend beyond ATC? 100%, yeah. Or download the VATSIM software, vPilot, and when you go to connect, tick the box that says connect as an observer. Then you can see and hear everyone else, but they can't see or hear you. And then you can find a buddy, park up next to them, copy their flight, and see if you do the same thing. Yes, fair point, Thomas. Good points, well made. My wife's just texted me a link to a Ford Puma while I'm live. I guess she's inside looking at Auto Trader or whatever. They're quite small, aren't they, the Pumas? The Cougar's the big one, I think. I don't know, I'm not really a car guy. Max speed 0.784, tricky. Yeah, it's shooting for 7.8. So yeah, option A is spend a load of money on a new car. Option B is maybe spend a little bit of money on repairing current car and praying that it stops going wrong thereafter. Who knows? You're welcome to go past, Tricky. Ultimately, I guess it doesn't really matter who lands first. Doesn't matter at all, does it? Hey, there we go. Let's have a fake sunset. And then we'll roll the time back again so we can have the sunset again. Just looking at the charts on my iPad here that I've got to my side. Looking at possibly vacating Echo 4. Brayton Gen takes up so much VRAM for my 4070 with train level of detail on 201 in Heathrow. I heard it was a flight sim issue and will be fixed in 2024. Do you have any news on it? So my understanding is that there will be a lot of efficiency, well I say a lot, maybe some efficiency gains in 24. I'm of the mindset that I'll believe it when I see it, and I will assess it for myself, and I'll do a video comparing all the things when it comes out. You can be rest assured. But yeah, I mean with Sim Update 15 they were talking about some sort of new memory management thing. I think it's probably fair to say that it didn't really make much of a difference, to me at least. I don't know whether that ended up making it into the actual release, I can't remember. But yeah, I'm hoping for more efficiency in 24, that's for sure. Because at the moment the sim is so heavily limited by its main threads if we go now to display FPS. So we're able to get about 40-ish FPS at cruise, and you can see there it says limited by main thread. Those of you looking at the vertical stream won't be able to see this, but basically my processor is the limiting factor. My GPU is not doing much. Not doing much at all. In fact, if I load up Task Manager, my GPU, while running the sim at 4K with near to maximum settings, is currently at 60% load. What you need to do to get that up is go into the options in the settings menu, turn on developer mode, then when you come up the top you'll get this toolbar thing. My graphic overlay is hiding some of it. There's a debug menu, click it, and you've got display FPS. And that'll tell you which component you're limited by. So limited by main thread, that's your CPU. That's the problem, is that no matter what I do, I'm limited by my processor. So I'll be very keen to see if Flight Sim 24 goes any way to solving that. Because I think when the sim first came out, there was quite a lot of people saying, you know, get a 16-core Ryzen processor, and actually having more cores does nothing for you in the sim at all. You're better off with less cores that can run faster versus lots of cores that run slower. What GPU have I got? You're limited by your GPU. Wow. I've got a 4080 Super. Puma is all around bigger than a Focus with less space in the back, but a slight improvement in fuel efficiency. Ideal. Well, we'll have to see. Yeah, 3050, you're going to be limited by that. Hey player, this is the Airbus, let me show you, A321. For me, you've got a 7800 X3D, very nice. I almost went for that myself. Just dropped my pen and I don't know where it's gone. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I almost went for a 7800X 3D. But I already had an AMD 5600X. I already had a B550 motherboard. I already had 32 gig of DDR4, 3600 CL16 memory. So, yeah, I was tempted to get the 7800X 3D, but I'd need to get new motherboard, new RAM. It's so much cheaper and appealing just to slot in a 5800X 3D and call it done for half the price. %, utilization. Yeah, be careful though looking at that number, John. Because like I say, the sim only really cares about one of your cores. So if you're looking at overall CPU usage, if you've got 8 cores, yeah, between 10 and 15% is probably what you're going to see in terms of CPU utilization. But if you were to look at it on a core by core breakdown, one would likely be pegged at 100%, where the rest of them are just sat there doing nothing. That's what it means when it says main thread limited. So the thread, i.e. the core that the sim is running on your processor, is the limiting factor. It doesn't matter that there's 5 or 7 or however many more threads there are available, the sim can't use them. Which is what gives me a bit of hesitation when you hear rumours that, like, oh, you know, Flight Sim 24 is going to be way more optimised, way more multi-threaded. Multi-threaded meaning that the sim can take advantage of all that's causing your CPU, where at the moment, of course, it can't. But then just by the nature of it, by the nature of the sim, it's like a very serialised environment, isn't it? Because one thing has to happen that affects the next thing, that affects the next thing, that affects the next thing. So, you know, wind has to blow, wind has to hit plane wing, plane has to react. You can't really split those things up, because one has to happen before the next thing happens, before the next thing happens. If you start splitting those tasks up, running them on multiple cores, one task could finish before the other task is finished, and then one has to wait for the next one anyway before it can be put into the queue. I don't know. Maybe there's stuff they can do that I'm unaware of, but it gives me pause when I hear things like it's going to be more optimised in that regard, because I would just temper your expectations. Do I prefer the heavier 321 or the more agile 319 from Phoenix? I feel like the 321 does as it's told a bit more. The 319 is like the naughty sibling of the family. No, I haven't done a full flight in it yet. We are in the 321 Aviation Pro. Haven't done a full flight in the 19 yet, so done a lot of landings with FSI panel. Excuse me. $204 miles till top of descent. We're getting there, aren't we? We are getting there. Happy days. Wasp, you'll have to change your name to minibus driver. Everyone hop in the minibus. Whip us down to Ibiza. Hello there, simple question. I always play as normal start takeoff with simple flight with 90% autopilot. So how to play more realistic? Do you have a video to take the game to the next level? The first place I would start, if you haven't already, is start making your flight plans using SimBrief. And then learn how to load those into your various planes and set up your departures and your takeoffs with SIDS and stars. Then once you're really confident with flying about, controlling the plane properly, you could start to look at things like Beyond ATC, which is a air traffic control system that you talk to and it talks back to you, or Say Intentions, which is a similar thing but it uses a bit more powerful AI on the back end. And then the ultimate is VATSIM, where you're connected to real human beings that are air traffic controllers, which is what we're on today. However, currently we are in a piece of airspace that no controllers have logged on to control, so we're just on our own and you sort of look after yourself really. You can talk to other pilots in the area, sort of make announcements, tell them what you're up to, so everyone's got a vague sense of what's going on. But yeah, it's quite quiet tonight. Right, Tricky, where are you? Is that you back there? Redstone, I'm a little late, but check the chart for Sierra Foxtrot Delta 1 X-ray. It's only allowed after 2300 local time. 5x5. And the smack's right down the Willow Stack, hence the reroute into Bognor. Gotcha. Yeah, I guess SimBrief doesn't know about that, hence it did it. I feel a little bit like I don't quite know enough, aside from looking at every single chart prior to every flight, which I probably should do. I feel like I maybe blindly trust SimBrief a bit too much. Evening, Mark. I forget, we had something similar in Edinburgh a little while ago. What were we on? Was it the is it TLA? The TLA departure? And we had to get rerouted onto... Oh, I've forgotten it. We had to go the other way, basically. Alright, Jim. Yeah, Redstone, you're right. I'm just looking at the... GOSAM, thank you, Redstone. That's what it was. Yeah, just checking the charts. I can see what you mean. Normally available between 11 and 6 local time. At other times, SIDS Bognor 1 X-ray or Hardy 1 X-ray will be issued. Yeah, this what the Bogner kind of gets you out of the way a bit, doesn't it? Yeah, I can see what you mean now. I just landed at Liverpool, proud of my landing. Well done. Well done, you. I've got to be honest, I'm not feeling great about what potentially is coming up for us here. It's been a minute or two since I've landed this one. Josh says, started on Flight Sim 6 months ago, getting the hang of it with more realism now, and I've got the A330, but looking for another plane to buy that I can learn and play on VATSIM with. I would probably look maybe at the PMDGs, 737s, if you haven't done so already. If you're conscious of your budget, you can get the 737-600, which is like the baby Boeing. Obviously, it comes with all the systems that you need, that the big ones have, just smaller. You can get a good deal on that. I tend to fly the 800, that's my preferred one. But that's just me. You got the Phoenix as well. The Phoenix A320. You got the fly-by-wire A320 Neo. For free. I'm guessing when you say you've got the A330, you mean you've got the headwind, I would presume. The ATR's pretty good fun. I haven't flown the ATR very much, so probably should do that. Do that some more. And the Airbus A300. The A300 freighter from Minibuilds. I've had nothing but a great time in that plane, but I just haven't flown it nearly enough. I was chatting to the dev who made Edinburgh, is it Pirigi? Chatting to him on Twitter today. Made me think I should get East Midlands as a bit of a cargo base. I haven't played Flight Sim in around 10 years. Used to be an avid player, especially the PMDG 737 and AV Sim. How things have changed. Yeah, it's quite remarkable, isn't it? Yeah, and we're absolutely spoilt, really, aren't we? Nothing from ATC yet, Josh, no. Give us a bit of daylight. That's one thing I feel conflicted about at the moment. Night times always do better for me. So if I stream this time of night, viewing figures are always better across the board. It's not even close. But then I feel like I have to fiddle the time to actually get us flying it in daylight, which feels a little bit like a cheat. Can you land at night? I'm okay at well, I'm not okay at landing at night actually. I'm pretty bad at landing at night. I can do it, but they're never very good landings. Oh, Josh, get yourself the Phoenix then. If you want to spend a bit of money and you're okay spending a bit of money. Get the Phoenix. Hands down. One of the best aircraft in the sim, I would say. Just finished my flight from Zurich to Milan. Very nice. You find it easier at night because the runway is lit up better? I actually find it harder. Feels to me like I lose all of my sort of peripheral vision reference points. So you can start with just the 320, or you can buy a bundle, I think, where you get the expansion pack, which includes the 321 and the 319. So we're in the 321 at the moment. We're in the big bus. Just flying over Barcelona. That's Barcelona Airport. There it is. Oh, Josh, I never land with a camera behind the plane. Can't do that. That's against the rules, that is. If you haven't hit the like button so far, please do consider it. It's free, and it helps out a ton. It's free, the stream is free, and some would say it's worth what you pay for it. Right, top of descent can't be that far off now, can it? Stick drift with my yoke? You mean this little joystick up here? No, I have not, if that's what you mean. How do you make custom liveries? With great difficulty, to be perfectly honest. I hate doing it. Really, really hate doing it. Every time a new plane comes out, I sort of think maybe I should go onto Fiverr or something and see if I can find someone that I can pay. But then I just sit down for the afternoon and be grumpy, and then it generally a livery kind of falls out the other end. So it does kind of work. I just don't enjoy it. The longest flight is Australia to LA. Oh, I don't know actually. Oh, Mark, you should come fly for us. Look, we have our own little virtual airline on the go on a system called New Sky. So we're currently doing a flight for the airline at the moment, hopefully earn us some money. Someone got a tail strike yesterday, which cost the airline 150 grand, so we're going to try and make up some money. JFK to Singapore. Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? Is this James Vowles? No, it's not. I don't know who that is. Although I have had a couple of people come into here and say you sound like someone else, and it may be that name. Can't quite remember. Whoever James is, he sounds like a great guy, though. 93 miles to go. It's a Formula 1 team manager for Williams. Oh, the guy off of Drive to Survive. Yeah, I know what you mean. I thought he's quite cool, to be honest. That's got to be a good 20-something hours, Jim. I would have said. Well, I don't know. Would it be? Would it be like south of 20 or north of 20? What do you think? Because you can do London to Perth one hit on a 787 now. I think that's like 17 and a bit, isn't it? Just checking on flight radar to see what runway's in use at Ibiza. Yeah, still 06. Good. So we're tracking the coast of Spain now. Go on, Mark, do it. Do it, do it. Are there people that are online who are ATC that will guide you in for a landing? Yeah, so if there was some ATC online now for like the area around Ibiza, they would give me a ping. They would say to contact me on this frequency. I would then go to my radio stack, tune in the frequency, switch it over into the active box, and then we can have a conversation over voice. So he'd probably say, or gee, yeah, descend flight level 290, 210, whatever. Then I'd start descending. They might say turn right, heading, whatever. Then I'd take us out of managed heading and do as I'm told. Long haul in the sim has never really struck me as good fun. Who is that beeping at me? Tricky, is that you? Runway 06, chord 3, Victor arrival, quarter transition. I think I was going for something slightly different tricky. Let me show you. Chord 1 Sierra via the Demev. Where can I find the Phoenix A320? Go to Phoenix's website and buy it. Was that not a contact me? Yeah, that was Tricky, who is in chat tonight. He's flying behind me. He was just messaging me to let me know which way he's going in. What rudder pedals have I got? I've got some Logitech ones. They used to be the Satec ones, but then Logitech bought Satec, I do believe. They're okay. For the money, they're okay. I find them a little bit plasticky. So, yeah, maybe someday. Maybe someday. Right, we need to do our arrival information, actually, before we get too carried away. Arrival 06 by the METAR. So, 060 at 7 knots, so the wind is coming right down the runway because we're on runway 06, so we've got no excuse for a bad landing. Devastating though that might be. So go to our perf page, next phase. Yeah, I've heard of some people doing that. Stu. What's a QNH? 1012. Temperature, forgotten already. 26,060 at 7. Zero 60 at 7. And 259 for the minimums. Good. "31 miles until our top of descent." Is it 1013? Oh yeah. So it's got 1012 there and 1013 there. How weird. How weird. Alright, almost time to land. We'll start our descent at least. Just casually doing London to Sydney. Good for you. Yeah, so just after ADX. It looks like we should have the place more or less to ourselves. I think there's one plane on the taxiway. Once that one's out of the way. Harry, we are off to Ibiza. Oh man. Tricky's asking me to keep it 180 till 4 DME because he's heavy. Alright, let's go down, shall we? Down, down, down we go. This is the A321 from Phoenix. You need to try VR. Yeah, I do. Almost managed to get myself a review unit of a VR headset to borrow. But we sort of just never got around to it, to be honest. Probably chase that up. Well done, Sky. We need the help. So, yeah, I feel like I've invested in a lot of like hardware-based accessories, so locking myself in a VR headset does bother me to some degree, but I don't doubt it's amazing. I'm in the 321, Mikala. You're not far behind us now, are you? Caught up. Oh, yeah. I see. Where's that tricky? Aha. That looks like a tricky to me. Yes, we have, Josh. We've dropped a little over 6,000 feet. 7,000 feet, nearly. This is the 321 IAE engines. Jolly good. To be honest, Josh, if I found myself in that situation, if I could even enter the cockpit, because, let's be real, those doors are pretty tough, I would just configure the plane for an auto land. As much as I would love to say I was the hero that did it, like something out of a movie, I think out of fairness to everybody, you'd need to put your ego to one side and just configure the plane. How did I create the livery for the A321? It's not done yet. This is kind of like a bit of a development build, really. It's by no means finished. Got to do the 319 yet as well, with both engine variants. But yeah, mostly with Photoshop. Phoenix give you a Photoshop file that you can use, which is cool. Alright, what time should we have for the landing? Might just wind us back. Touch. Sort of want to do daytime because I've never flown into this airport before. This is the... well, I have flown into this airport, but I've never flown into... this is the any-builds version of Ibiza, and I'd quite like to see it. See what it's like in the daytime. I hear it's rather good. Do you know if custom views are per livery or the whole aircraft? They should be on. Should be the whole aircraft. So there's a camera settings.config file that is at the aircraft level. It's not at a livery level. Easiest thing to do is to set the views you want. Press Control Alt and then a number. So like move the camera. Go into here. If you've got like an Xbox controller, change this to free look, move around with the controller. Then when you get to where you want to go, press Control, Alt and then a number. And then to get back to that view, just press Alt and the number. So I'll do Alt and 2, puts me here, Alt and 3, Alt and 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah, there's the airport. I'm hoping that's the any builds version. I can't remember which. I think fairly 90% sure I installed it. 90%. Alright, so we've got a 220 knot speed restriction coming up on the next waypoint, which is in 5 miles. I think maybe some speed brakes might be in order. Whoops. My bad. Yes, I know. Didn't mean to put the flaps out. we go, 220 knots. Dunded. $100k subs, JFK to Singapore. JFC, I admire the hustle. Why is my speed brake still out? Ibiza traffic, AirNOTT 120. Flying base for runway 06. Ibiza traffic. That was probably the worst call out I've ever done in my life. Choked like a dog then. I find it harder on Unicom than I do talking to controllers, because when you talk to controllers there's like a very clear expectation of what you should be saying and what you should be doing, whereas when it comes to Unicom I'm like, No worries, Carl. Thanks for coming along. I hate being on Unicom. Yeah, to be honest, I'd much rather not be on it. Hey ho, what are you going to do? Might have been really stupid. How do you actually get some like data to appear on this side? Let's go for auto brake medium. Alright, down to 210. Flight deck to sim, absolutely destroyed his plane on landing. Hope you can do better. Well, you never know. Put your landing weight in. Where do I put my landing weight in? Ah, landing weight. What is my landing weight? Ah. Right, so we're going to try and say it 210 for tricky, and then go to 180, because he's coming in hot. Okay, RadNav is auto-tuned, that's what I like to see. Fuel prediction, 0 fuel weight, 70.7. Oops. Ah. 70.7. Deputy auto brake. Low. Go on then, let's do low. Risk it for a biscuit. Good. So we're going to go... Going to stay at 210 for tricky. Okay, 70.7 plus 4.1, so that's going to be 74.8. 74.8. Ooh, what about max reverse? What do you think, medium? I think medium. Okay, let's get established on the ILS. Ibiza traffic AirNOTT 120 established on the ILS for 06 Ibiza traffic. Alright, let's get ourselves down to 180. A little bit faster than we would like. Laps 2. Alright, I've started the recording for the landing, so maybe if we get a good landing we can get some wing views. Which Josh rightfully points out.
WF Gentry Bird, 57 Tango Heavy, 20 miles final, a visual 06.
Alright.
2,500.
Crank up the old volume a bit, shall we? What is our approach speed? Be at 145. Perfect.
Ibiza traffic within 2680, reducing speed to 200 knots for the traffic approaching the ILS.
Alright, tricky. Time for me to slow it down, I think. Let's see how responsive the A321 is at slowing down on a final. Beat the traffic, AirNOTT 120 on a 5-mile final, runway 06. Beat the traffic. Let's get that gear down. Hey, my airplane. No excuses for messing this one up, is there? As much as we would like a good excuse.
500. 400. 100 above. 300. Minimum.
Continue.
200. 100.
Flight slow.
Give over.
40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Oh, a little bit off the centre line there, isn't it? Are you kidding? Did you see the way the sim stuttered then? Yeah, a little bit off centre that. That was a bit annoying. Still, I'll take it. Okay, let's get out of the way. Let Tricky come in. Beat the traffic, runway 06 vacated. Beat the traffic.
I believe the traffic to Pleasant Seconds, 10 mile final.
Okay, APU on. Let's get out of the way. Yeah, that's okay, that landing. If that was more on the centre line, I'd have been a bit happier with it, but what can you do? Here he comes. Cheers, Josh. Okay, no entry there. This will do. I would put out a call, but I'm literally the only one here, except for Tricky, who's on final. Tricky's not even here yet, is he really?
Ibiza traffic, Griffin 2680, established on ILS for runway 6.
Right, we've got a minute yet. Tricky is not quite yet with us. Oh, that glitch again. Oh, we timed this perfectly, didn't we? Go on, Tricky. Nice. Nicely done. Alright, let's get ourselves in here.
Ibiza traffic, forming go around speed, Griffin 2680.
Hey, it happens.
Ibiza traffic, passing staying on clear runway.
Jolly good. Right, parking brake on. Get those engines off. Let's close the flight and we will assess how we did. So I got a 9.42 for that one out of 10. That's off centerline deviation, which I knew about. He gave me a small ding for that, but still 30 grand for the airline, so that's got to be good. That's got to be good. Right, let's get deboarding. In fact, no we won't. No, we won't do that. Oliver, that's New Sky. That's the tool that runs our virtual airline. What I'm going to do... Brakes are hot. Let's disconnect from VATSIM. And then I will... turn the plane back on. Because I've foolishly turned the engines off. We will go to a ready state. And we will have a little look out the window. See what the passengers saw. There's that stutter again.
Offering you the chance to choose from our fresh selection available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. You can also purchase a selection of hot beverages.
That's alright, that wouldn't it?
Drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept all major credit and debit cards. If we can be...
Give it one more go. Just flight recorder for watching it back. Yeah, it's okay. I was just off the centre line, just a bit. It's about 5 meters off of it. But I've had worse. Ah, you're off on War Thunder now, Tricky. Nice. Yeah, I should probably go to bed, actually. It's 10:30. Blimey. Well, guys, thank you all so much for coming along. It's very, very nice to be back flying with you all. I've been well aware that this summer's not been the greatest. And definitely sort of missing it as well. Definitely missing it. There came a point when I was away on holiday where I was like, oh man, I just want to fly. And I couldn't, and that made me sad. But it's really nice to be back. Thomas, like, for real, man, like, thank you so much for that donation tonight. It's so generous. I can't thank you enough. It's really incredible. And I'll be back for the next stream, which will most likely be Thursday evening, I think. Yeah, let's go with that. Thursday evening, I think. Until then, guys, I'm going to wish you all the very best. Thank you for coming along with me on this trip. It's been very much enjoyable. Nice to take the 321 out for its first proper flight. And hopefully we'll have the livery for the 319 done by Thursday, and we can maybe go for an outing in the 319 on Thursday. That'd be pretty cool. Well, I've had. Thanks for the 5. Awesome, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate that. It's really good of you all. Thank you so much for all of your kindness and your generosity. And thank you to all those that hit the like button. And I will see you, hopefully, on Thursday night. Take care. Cheers.